Hey, what's up YouTube? It's your man Zamani Allen, aka Best Dressed Finesse. As you guys have seen by the title, it's gonna be about the first time I ever got cheated on. This shit is crazy and it's gonna be juicy. Make sure that you like, subscribe, and that you subscribe this to a couple of your other friends, just so they can hop on this channel and also get in on some of this action and this awesome information. You feel me? So before we do that, all I want to say is I hope you guys are staying safe. I hope you guys are enjoying life, because shit's getting crazy out here. It's just crazy. You feel me? And I don't understand. Like, what is so hard about enjoying your life? What's so hard about not? I don't know. Like, why can't you just stay in the house? Why can't you stay in the house? But let's get into this content. Alright, so we are back. And as the title said, it's gonna be about the first time I got cheated on. Like I said, this shit's crazy. I'm not gonna lie to you, this goes way back when. This is like back in the day. I was a young buck before the curly hair and all the tattoos and the jewelry. That's all irrelevant information, but that's what it's about. So I'm not gonna give you the actual girl's name because I'm not gonna put her information out there. That shit is just crazy, that shit's fucked up, and I ain't with that dry snitching shit. You feel me? Swag. Anyway, so we gonna call this girl Chip Chop. I don't know why Chip Chop, but it sounds interesting. Chip Chop. Alright. So Chip Chop and I, this goes way back to middle school. Alright. Middle school. Mind you, a lot of shit happened in my life in middle school. Yeah. So me and Chip Chop, we were together for about all of, what, 2 months? I guess. But hey, whatever. Time is time. Fast is fast. Throw it in the air. Let it just hang down. And whoa, when they at.
Bruh.
Alright, so me and Chip Chop, we went to the school called Eisenhower Middle School, right? And me and her have known each other since elementary school because we went to Deerfield together. Mind you, I've been to a couple different elementary schools, you know, due to moving around and little shit like that. But that's not really relevant information. But so yeah, me and Chip Chop, we went to the school called Eisenhower Middle School, right? Mind you, Chip Chop is this badass light-skinned Joe with pretty eyes, pretty hair, and you know, this was way before I kind of knew what a banging body was. But in middle school, you think anybody that has a pretty face and some pretty eyes and a little bit of some package-wise is a banging body. So we just gonna say she had that because I'm not about to get too much into those details just yet. Alright, so, but yeah, that's how that was. Yeah. So, me and Chip Chop, we were inside of our math class. And mind you, I fucking hated math. I still hate math to this day. Math is not my favorite subject. Math can suck my dick and go to sleep. Anyway, so that's just how that is. So me and Chip Chop, we always managed to sit next to each other in math class, you know. And it was like one day, you know, she was like, hey, you know, I like fuck with you for real. I'm like, I bet. I mean, I fuck with you too. I mean, I don't really know you like that, but you know, I fuck with you for real. So we started talking and shit, you know. I didn't have a phone back then, so we only talked when it was in school. And that shit sucks. But anyway, so yeah, so we started talking, right? Mind you, we talked for probably about like a week, 2 weeks, maybe a week and a half or whatever. You know, it was just about a week, and that's just how that shit was. So, you know, I'm starting to know about her, you know, her favorite color, you know, her personal life, favorite food, all the other irrelevant yada yada yada, he say, she say shit, you know, just, you know, to get to know somebody. So mind you, in middle school, no one really worried about what the fuck you look like outside of school, because everybody's used to seeing you in a goddamn uniform, and the uniform was fucking terrible. We talking about a burgundy shirt, some khaki pants, and some black shoes, and that shit sucks. It really did.
Yeah.
But anyway, so me and Chip Chop, you know, we start talking some more, you know, we start feeling each other more and shit. So then it was like one day we on the bus, we about to go to school, and she was like, hey, you know, I'm trying to go out. I'm like, oh word, what's up with that shit? You know, I'm cool with that shit. I mean, let's hop into this shit. So we start dating. First couple of weeks, it was fun, you know. School, always hanging around each other, you know, math class, literature class, gym class, all of the basic information. Anyway, all of the basic information that you need to know in middle school, which they were going to teach you, which really had no relevancy to your life after middle school, high school, and life. But that's how that shit was. So after that, we would go to lunch. I'd sit next to her, or she would sit next to me. I'm always, hanging around with my good men. Well, which were my good men back then. So then I started to realize that, after we got into this one argument because she thought I was cheating on her and shit. Because, look at me. How can you resist? I'm a pretty nigga. I'm pretty. I'm fucking pretty. You see this? This hook gets good hair quality. I'm pretty, boy. Sorry, I was ugly as fuck back then. I'm not gonna lie to you. I was ugly as a bitch, bro. I was an ugly ass nigga. But that's how that was. So I always hung around a lot of females because I never really attracted myself around a bunch of males. Males always talk about the same shit every day, all day, whether it's selling drugs, getting some pussy, or some shoes or some shit, which doesn't really make any sense of why males like to do that shit because it's really retarded, but it is. Excuse me again. But so she started, becoming distant and shit, and she started hanging out with this dude, and I'm not gonna tell you his name, but we're gonna call him Lamb Chop.
The fuck?
Lamb Chop. So Chip Chop and Lamb Chop, they started, chilling and hanging around each other more and more and more. Mind you, this is a month into the relationship. So I confronted her and I was like, hey, I'm starting to realize, you're starting to become a lot more distant. You starting to, hang around other niggas and shit, and I see you all, laughing, giggly, doing the old little female shit that females do when they start to feel somebody. So I'm like, cool. So I asked her about the shit, and she's like, oh no, it's not like that. Me and him are just friends. His parents know my parents, and I know his siblings because we live in the same neighborhood. Basic bullshit ass excuses and everything else like that. So I'm like, fuck that shit, whatever. I ain't trying to hear all that shit, so I let that shit go. And then we ended up getting over it after, about a couple of days after talking and chopping it up with some more and shit. So after that, things were fine. So then I go home, being the trouble child that I was, always getting in trouble. I come from, it's just me, I was always a problem child and getting in trouble and shit, or whatever. So we do that, and then we come to school the next day, and then mind you, this happened on like a Friday. I don't know why shit happens on Fridays, but shit happens on Fridays. I don't know why. I think because it's like the weekend or like the last day of school or the week or whatever. But that's just how that shit was. But fuck it. So then I get to school and I see her hanging around Lamb Chop. I'm like, alright, cool. She said that they were just friends or whatever the case may be. And this is where the bullshit kicks in. So I'm talking to my mans, which I've known him for a break and a half too. So I'm talking to him, me and him geeking, laughing, joking, clowning each other, flaming each other up and shit. Basic shit that men do when they cool with each other. So I'm like, alright, cool, so we joking and shit. So then we walk in the building. I'm about to go to my locker and shit because, I gotta get ready for class and shit, which I fucking hated school still. But I had to get ready for class and shit. So her locker was 2 rows to the left of me. So if I look down, I can see her. So after that, I'm like, alright, cool. So I put my book bag away, take my jacket off, and all this other shit, making sure that my uniform is straight, making sure, that I'm looking presentable for school, trying to follow, school policies. I'm not gonna lie to you, I never really did follow school policies, but I tried in this job. Okay! But, so I look down, and Chip Chop and Lamb Chop, we chopping it up, they all close. I'm talking about real close. I'm like in baby personal bubbles close. And so she ended up kissing this dude, right? I'm like, what the fuck? Mind you, that's exactly what I said in the hallway because our lockers was in the hallway. I'm like, what the fuck? What the fuck? What the flying fuck? That shit blew me. Blew the fuck out of me. So I bet fuck it. So I dip off, and she catches up to me and she's like, oh, hey babe, how was your night? How was your morning? Did you eat breakfast? I'm like, nah, bitch, fuck you. I ain't trying to deal with you. I just saw that bullshit that you pulled. She told me, what are you talking about?
Somebody come and look at this.
I'm not blind. I'm not dumb.
Look at this.
Retarded. I know what the fuck you did. Mind you, this bitch started playing dumb, like mad dumb. I'm like, that shit's, nah, like that shit don't fly with me. Like that shit's for the birds. Fuck that shit. She told me something, I didn't do anything. I don't know why you acting like that. You acting mad different ever since you started hanging on your female friends with, you know, them bitches that I don't fuck with. I'm like, this ain't got nothing to do with the people that I chill with. Nothing to do with the people that I hang out with. Nothing. Then, so, I'm like, the fuck? So she's like, well, you acting mad different, and walks off. I'm like, alright, cool, fuck it. You know, I just brush the shit off. You know, brush the shit off. You know, can't let the dust hit me. Ooh. Grab your gloves. Ooh, dust the gun. Damn! Dust the shit off. I walk off. I'm like, fuck that shit. So I walk into class and shit. And then we had class together. Mind you, we had class together. And then what blew the shit out of me the most was the fact that this nigga got transferred into my class, bruh. Transferred into my fucking class. So I'm sitting down, you know, I'm thinking, alright, you know, she won't come sit next to me like she always do every day like we do in class. Nah, this bitch fucking sat next to that other nigga. I'm like, oh, word? Alright, so you acting mad different. You acting different. Oh, you acting different, huh? Oh, alright, let's act different then. I'm like, cool, fuck that shit. So, you know, I go throughout my class, you know, I'm chilling or whatever the case may be. You know, class is long as fuck, not paying no attention, because I can't stand math. This shit's retarded as shit. Even though when it comes to money, I'm good. I'm on the point with the money. I'm on point with my money. I like my money. I do. But anyway, it was boring as shit. So I'm leaving class and shit. You know, I'm about to head down to the gym, you know. I'm trying to ball up and get the hooping and shit, you know, catch some ankle meat, you know. Pause for even though people don't know what that means. But I'm about to go break some ankles in basketball. So we hit the gym. We go into the locker room, you know, I change out, you know, I got my shorts on, you know, my t-shirt on, you know, my J's and shit. So I'm like, alright, cool, fuck that shit. You know, so I'm balling and shit, you know, smoking up a good amount of sweat. Good. So I'm talking about like that sweat that you see running down your face sweat. I'm talking about that sweat that once that sweat dries up, your whole face is white type sweat. That sweat, that type of sweat, that sweaty sweat. That sweaty big sweat. Alright? Sweaty. I'm talking sweaty. Hana, you know that Hana sweat. Yeah, that sweat. That sauna sweat.
Automatic.
Sweat. Anyway, so that's how that shit was. So I walk out into the locker room because, you know, I'm about to get back, you know, I'm about to go to class, you know. I gotta head over to my, you know, my reading class and shit. Or as they call it, literature, but my reading class back and, you know, and all that other good shit. So then I find out some news from my mans. My man was like, young, that shorty's a thought, bro. Stop fucking with her. I'm like, what are you talking about, bro? I mean, I already knew that she kissed this nigga. She's like, nah, bro, it's worse than that. I'm like, how? I mean, it's middle school. How worse can it get from that? My man was like, young, she got caught fucking behind the lockers during the gym.